Hello and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. I have lots of seasonal cleaning to do around the house, but first I've started a new project that I wanted to share with you. I'm not sure what it is about October, but that's always the month that I seem to start a new project, and this project is going to take a month of Sundays to finish, so you'll probably see this project in different stages over the next few months. I've been trying to figure out the best way to beef up the door frames so that we can add new baseboards. I would love to have 4-inch wide trim around each door, but there just isn't enough clearance around every door. There's lots of trim options to add depth to the door frame, but I needed something that will work on every doorway, and I finally come up with a solution that should work on all the doors in the house. I found this corner trim that will add enough depth for the baseboards, but still fit into all of the tight spaces. The holiday season is right around the corner, so fall is the perfect time for seasonal cleaning and repairs around the house. The paint on the walls needs to be touched up in places, and the baseboards downstairs are in very bad shape, and I've been planning on replacing them for years. I need to add trim to both sides of all 10 doors in the house before replacing the baseboards, so I decided to start touching up the paint on the baseboards. But once I got started, I realized that there are only 4 doors downstairs, and only one of them has trim on both sides, so I think I can finish all the doors and replace the baseboards downstairs before Christmas, and then once that's done, I can start working upstairs. But there's a few other things that I want to get done before the holiday season. I try to clean out the pantry about once a year. I'll take everything out, clean the shelves, and look for anything that we need to use up before it expires. This pantry is in the garage, and we use it to store things like canned goods, appliances that we don't use that often, and backups for the pantry that we have inside the house. We don't keep any open containers in this pantry. We keep all of the open packages inside the house, so I'm always surprised when we find anything other than dust. But it's also a good time to take inventory so that I can stock up on basic food staples that we'll need for holiday meals. So when I take everything out of the pantry, I also make a note of what we have and if there's something that I need to put on the shopping list. There's nothing worse than having to run to the store at the 9th hour because you're out of something that you thought you had. I can't reach the top shelf of the pantry without a ladder, so the baskets on the top shelf hold all of the things that we might use once or twice a year. So we keep disposable paper products like cups and plates on the left side, and then there's a few baking supplies and backup filters that I keep on the right.
I was on a plane to California. I had all the time I'd ever need. Did you even know I was looking for you? I think that I was hiding in between. How long did you wait for me? How long?
This second row of baskets are easy to reach without a ladder, so we use them to store extras and backup items that we need within easy reach. The shelves are deep for a pantry, so it's easy to lose smaller items in the back of the shelf, and even though I can reach the basket without a ladder, I'm not tall enough to see what's on it or reach to the back of the shelf. So it's much easier to have everything in a basket that I can pull down and look through. There's an empty basket that's been sitting on the shelf, so I wanted to redistribute a few things to lighten the baskets and make things easier to find.
I could make it if I ran. Then I saw you walking out the back door. hand in hand with another.
We usually keep things like nuts and crackers or other snack type foods in this basket, but we don't have any extra snacks in the pantry at the moment, and this change might be temporary or permanent, and I don't want to make a new label every time something changes, so I'm just going to flip the label over to avoid confusion for now. I'll be the first to admit that I like the way the baskets look when I open up the pantry. I love how they hide everything and create uniformity so that the cupboards look nice on the inside, but having the baskets and storage bins are also very practical. They keep things organized so that they're easy to find, and it also makes things more accessible, which makes it much easier to empty the pantry so that I can clean the shelves. I'm only cleaning the shelves today. I clean the baskets and organizers another time. It would take all day to clean everything in the pantry, and keeping the pantry organized is an ongoing process, so I have several micro cleaning sessions when we restock the pantry. If a bin is empty, or if I happen to notice that a bin needs to be cleaned, then I'll take a minute to wipe them out. We use the large baskets to organize and hide things that we don't need to see for most of the year, and then we use the clear bins to organize things that we reach for the most. When it comes to organizing, I have a two-hand rule. The more things that I have to move out of the way to get to something or put something away, the harder it is to keep things organized, and anytime that I have to use more than two hands to get to something, I get annoyed. I don't want to have to move more than one thing out of the way to get to what I need. And the clear bins make it easy to find smaller items because I can pull the whole thing down with one hand, grab what I need with the other hand, and put the whole thing back again. It's more like opening and closing a drawer.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait.
Of course, there are pros and cons to using organizers and bins. They help to group like things together in one place, and it also limits what we can store so we don't end up buying more than what we need. But the disadvantage is that some things don't fit inside the bins, and the bins can take up too much space. So to help maximize the available shelf space, I use the bins as dividers to organize items on the shelf in between each bin. Using the negative space on the shelf is a great way to help keep things organized and maximize the storage space at the same time.
We are dreamers of the shore when we can.
When I organize the pantry, I try to keep things that we use the most in the middle section of the shelves where they're easy to reach, but weight is another consideration. We live in the land of earthquakes, and heavy items are hard to lift overhead. The extras that we keep in the baskets are lightweight, so the baskets are easy to get down and put away, and if they tumble off the shelf, they won't cause much damage. And I always try to keep the heavier items on the lower shelves so that they're easy to pick up and put away, and if they're close to the ground, they won't cause as much damage when they fall.
The perfect summer is over in a flash, and you're on your way. Somebody needs.
I gave this pantry a major reorganization a few years ago, and I'll try to link that video in the description box. At that time, I wanted to make some room for the appliances that we didn't use that often, and I wanted all of the appliances together on one side and all of the canned goods together on the other, but the shelves in this pantry aren't adjustable, and the appliances didn't fit where I wanted to put them, so I had to split them up. Ideally, I would rather have the canned goods below the appliances, but this was the only way that I could make everything fit.
Beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere we go is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all the way. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home. Bright lights and colors. Love is for the ones who dare to wait. No use in running when all I really want is to make you stay. My mind says yes, you've been here for quite some time, but my heart tells me you should stay a little while. Are we at the end?
We are overstocked on beets at the moment. My husband loves beets and he'll snack on them right out of the can, so we always have canned beets in the pantry. But there were a few months when the price of beets went up, and then I started making beet smoothies, so when he found them on sale, he started stocking up. So now, instead of dedicating one bin to store the beets, we have an entire shelf dedicated to beets. And it may look like there's enough to last all year, but I'd be surprised if we don't run out before Thanksgiving.
Goes round and round in circles, but I'm still on the ground. It's a dizzying day. I would give a lot to get away. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to me? Or just sit beside me and never leave? I got the curtains up. I guess it would be nice if you could interrupt. It's a day like this. It's a day I really would have missed. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you
Maintaining an organized pantry is one of the best ways to avoid overspending and wasting money on expired foods. I try to keep foods organized by categories so that it's easier to keep track of what we have. So I keep all the canned goods together, but I also keep the same type of canned goods together so that I have all the beans on the same shelf, and I also keep the same type of beans together so that I know how many of each variety that we have. If the beans were all mixed up all together on the same shelf, or if we had different beans mixed up together on different shelves, it would be much harder to keep track of what we have. We would waste time searching for things, we would buy things we don't need, and things would start to expire. So I always try to keep the pantry organized.
If you feel lonely, I will be here and wait for the sun. It's getting closer, but it will never last down. Here by the ocean, fire is burning, flares in the wind. Over the mountains, I see the moon. So begin looking to the rising sun. This is where we belong. We belong. A new day will soon begin. That's what I've been here for all along. I have no doubt. I know you really want to stay till the fires burn out. Days like this will slowly fade away. Memories will always stay the same.
A few months ago, I got a small steam cleaner, but before I had a chance to test it out, there was a recall. So I pulled it out so that I would remember to take care of it. There's a chance that it could explode during use, so if you happen to have a Bissell Steam Shot, be sure to stop using it until you check with the manufacturer.
I know you really wanna stay till our fires burn out. Days like this will slowly fade away. Memories will always stay the same.
These two glass display cabinets are another annual cleaning task. Most cabinets in the kitchen are full of things that we use on a daily basis, but the china in this cabinet is something we only use seasonally, so they need to be washed even if we don't use them. There are years when we travel back east to spend the holidays with family, and there are some years when we have family come to visit with us. We don't have any plans this year, but I still like to use my grandmother's china during the holiday season, so I wanted to clean out this cabinet so it doesn't add to the stress to the busy hustle and bustle during the holidays. There's a few everyday dishes that I left soaking in a sink full of soapy water. I need to wash them and get them out of the way before I get started. There isn't any food or grease on the lids that I left in the sink, so there's no reason to empty the sink and start over. I'm just going to add a little more dish soap, and I'll heat up the water so that it's easier to clean the dishes.
Rings out. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell the sky from the ground. I know my life will never be the same after that day. You wrap me around your fingers and you stay. I don't ever wanna be alone again. I don't owe you my best friend.
Extreme temperature changes can cause cracks in crystal and china, so it's not a good idea to wash them in a sink full of hot water and then rinse them in cold water. I'm washing them in warm water and then I'll rinse them with hot water so the change isn't as shocking. But if the water is too hot, it can also cause damage. So if it's too hot for my hands, then it's probably too hot for the dishes, but rinsing them in hot water helps them dry faster with fewer water spots.
There are days when we all feel like we're messed up, but we know that we're all diamonds in the rough. In spite of all, we are all we got.
These crystal champagne glasses belong to my great-grandmother, and it's not often that we have champagne at home, so we rarely use them for celebratory toasts, but once in a while I do like to use them to serve dessert for a special treat, but that's also rare. They're beautiful and irreplaceable, so having them on display is the best way to honor them, but they still get dirty even behind the doors. Over time, the grime starts to accumulate and they start looking dull, and it happens so gradually that it's easy to miss. Washing the china is something that I like to do in the fall, but if we're not home for the holidays or if it doesn't get done in the fall for some reason, then it becomes part of the spring cleaning.
I'm waiting at the doorstep, finally home. I've been gone for too long. Standing here a while just to take it all in. Radios play
I'm always torn between wanting to use the china and wanting to preserve them. If they hadn't belonged to my grandmother, I would use them for every birthday, holiday, and the celebrations in between, but they have a sentimental value that's priceless, and every time we use them, we risk losing them. We use the plates and bowls more than we use the glasses. Leftovers are just never enough. So every year I cook a turkey, even when we're not home for Thanksgiving, and there are times when I like to use the china to serve a turkey dinner just for the two of us.
Stand by the fire, your tiny hand in mine. You're 5 feet off the ground. You rest on my shoulder. The stars come make the light, so fragile in the night. In this moment, forever be, forever be. In this moment, forever be, forever be.
I always forget about this vase. I don't even remember where we got it, but I think it was a gift from my grandmother. We have a small selection of vases that I can use for fresh cut flowers, and this one is the prettiest, so I like to have it on display. But because we keep it with all of the other vases, I'm always forgetting about it when I'm looking for a vase. So even though it's my favorite, I rarely use it.
On the wall, the moment frozen not to fall. In this moment, forever be, forever be. In this moment, forever be, forever be.
Now that the plates and glasses are all shiny and clean, I just need to wipe down the shelves before I put them away again. Dust that builds up in wet areas like kitchens and bathrooms is much harder to remove than other areas of the house. When moisture and grease in the air mix with the dust, it settles into a grimy film that's hard to remove. So I just use a damp microfiber cloth to clean the glass, and then I use a dry cloth to remove the water spots. And I usually clean both of these cabinets at the same time, but the last time I cleaned these cabinets, I only cleaned out one cabinet and then I skipped over this one. That was at the beginning of this year, and I'm just now getting around to finishing up the job. The other cabinet has glasses that we use more often, so it's in better shape for now. But here's a reminder of what the glasses looked like before. They were so cloudy you almost couldn't see through them, and now they're sparkling like new again.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name.
Once summer comes to an end, there's not much time to get ready for the holiday season. And once the holiday season starts, there's too much to do. We get busy with the holiday decorations and celebrations, and there's not enough time for anything else. Fall is always a good time to take care of seasonal cleaning and small repairs around the house so that there's more time to enjoy our time with family and friends. If you liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications before you go. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you next time.